What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome into the Jets Report. I am your host, Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we have a loaded one for you guys where the New York Jets just signed 10 players to some future contracts. So we'll go through all 10 of those names and actually talk about a tight end that they signed that I think could be a diamond in the rough for this New York Jets football team. And then also Matt Nagy, the Chiefs OC. He completed his interview with the New York Jets, and I have a whole lot to say about that. But before we dive into it, everybody, if you guys could help us out here, we're closing in on 1,000 subscribers here at the Jets Report. We just need 197 more of you guys to hit that sub button. I put my goal is that we will hit 1,000 subscribers off this video. So if you guys want to help me out, make me look good for my bosses, as this is a new channel here at Chat Sports, please hit that subscribe button, and I promise I will try my best to get a Jets video out to you guys every single day. All right, let's dive into it. Matt Nagy tweeted from the New York Jets Twitter account themselves saying, "We have completed an interview with Matt Nagy for our head coach position." And I can already see everybody running to the comment section. We cannot hire Matt Nagy. This would be a disaster, and I understand that. But let's just dive into Nagy a little bit more in depth here. So Matt Nagy right now, he is the Chiefs offensive coordinator, and this is his second stint with Kansas City, because when he was originally with Kansas City, he was actually hired by the Chicago Bears and had an interesting run there. He won a Coach of the Year award. He had a good overall record in just 4 seasons, going 34-31, and actually made the playoffs twice. And keep in mind, this was with Mitch Trubisky, not the best quarterback, but this is his first NFL coaching job, or his first NFL coaching job did come back with the Philadelphia Eagles, still under Andy Reid. So I'm a big believer. Everybody in life, not just in sports, is a product of their own environment. So maybe Matt Nagy, if he does get the Jets head coaching job, hopefully he has a little bit of that Andy Reid juice run off on this Jets team. But, in general on Matt Nagy, I would be out. And I do want to make this clear. The Jets could also be bringing in a lot of these guys for interviews. Yes, it says for the head coach position, but it could also be for the offensive coordinator position. Like the Jets go in the direction of a Brian Flores, a Mike Vrabel, or a Rex Ryan. I could see them targeting at Matt Nagy as potentially the offensive coordinator. I don't think he has a good chance to become the next head coach, but watch out for Nagy to be the OC if the Jets do not hire an offensive mind. But I do want to get you guys this quote from Ethan Greenberg here. He's a beat reporter for the New York Jets, and he was just talking about the Jets interviewing candidates that are on playoff teams. And this is what he said. He said, "For candidates who are coaching on a playoff team with a bye, like Nagy, those virtual interviews can be held between Wednesday and the end of wildcard weekend. They're limited to 3 hours in length." He carried on to say, "In-person interviews with assistants who are under contract with other teams can begin on January 20th unless those teams are still alive in conference title games." So that's huge for guys like, let's just say Brian Flores, for example, with the Minnesota Vikings. If they go on a run to the conference title game, you won't be able to interview him until January 20th. But I thought it was interesting. ESPN put out an article listing the top head coaches for the New York Jets, and this was the 3 they had. They had Mike Vrabel listed at number 1, Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator for the Lions, who did a great job this past Sunday night against the Minnesota Vikings, really trusted his DBs. It was a genius defensive game plan and slowed down one of the hotter offenses in the National Football League. But then we also get the Brian Flores, defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, has completely changed that defense around. And I think all 3 of these guys would be great culture builders and culture setters for the New York Jets, and which we all know the New York Jets really could use that. But if I had to list it, I think those 3 you just saw of Vrabel, Glenn, and Flores would be my top 3 options. But then my fallback, it would have to be Rex Ryan. I don't know if this is just me watching too many, Dan Campbell hype videos going on right now, but I think the Jets need a guy who's going to be a leader of men. He is going to be a culture setter in that building. And Rex Ryan, he clearly has a love for the New York Jets. He wants to be the Jets head coach, and I guarantee you this, if he is the hire, the Jets will be a hard, physical hitting football team. But it also just gets me to this. They just need a culture building head coach. I don't think the Jets are in a position right now where it's like, hey, we need to swing big on that elite offensive mind like a Ben Johnson. I don't think that's the case. I think they need somebody who is similar to Dan Campbell. Well, the guy who's similar to DC is actually Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan would offer a culture building CEO style of head coach where I guarantee you it would be a more cleaned up group. You would get the most out of that defense, no doubt about it. So, Rex Ryan, I would just give you guys my rankings here. I got him at number 4. For me personally, I would love Brian Flores, and I know people would panic about Flores because of his situation with Tua and the Dolphins, but over the last couple of years, he's been under Mike Tomlin, he's been under Kevin O'Connell, so I don't think it would necessarily be the worst thing in the world. I think it would actually be my number 1 hire, and then I get to Aaron Glenn at number 2. Then I would go Vrabel over Rex Ryan, but I got all 4 of those guys over Ben Johnson. Now, if the Jets were in a position like the Chicago Bears with a young, second-year quarterback who's got all types of potential, I would probably prefer Ben Johnson over any of these guys, but every situation is different. Every team has different needs, and with where the Jets are set up right now, they need a guy who's going to get it back to New York Jet-style football, and I think Flores, Glenn, Vrabel, and our good old friend Rex Ryan offer that. But I ask you guys this. Who comes to mind? Who do you want as the next Jets head coach? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'll make this the pinned comment on today's show. So when you guys scroll down to the comments, it will be the first one up there. Go down there. Let me know, who do you want as the next Jets head coach? All right, let's dive into some roster moves here because the Jets have been pretty active. They actually just signed 10 players to some futures contracts, and I actually do think one of them, a tight end, could be a sneaky diamond in the rough for this Jets team. But 10 players, they're going to be on this roster for the remainder of the offseason, and maybe a couple of these guys have a chance to make the 53-man. But let's just dive through it. We'll rip through all 10 of these players here. So the first move they made was Zack Bailey. He's an offensive lineman, just a middle-of-the-pack guy, bounced around the NFL a couple of different places, but no real big news there. And then they also got Zach Evans, a running back. I'll tell you what, this guy has a lot of juice, and with the Jets running back position with Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, it is going to be very hard to crack that rotation for, even a huge big name running back. I just think those guys are extremely talented. But Zach Evans was picked up. And then Obinna Eze. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, but he is an offensive lineman as well that the Jets picked up. I like this move. Jets offensive line obviously struggled this past season, so just getting more bodies in there, I think it's a pretty good move by them. But this is my diamond in the rough. This is the guy I want to talk about, Zack Kuntz. So he played his collegiate football at Old Dominion. And this guy is probably one of the freakiest athletes I have ever seen coming out. I mean, we could just show it to you guys. His height and weight. This man is 6'8", 251 pounds. You may be saying, oh, he's probably very slow. He probably can't move too well. Well, he has a 4.5 second 40-yard dash, and you may be saying, well, he probably can't jump. He probably has no 50-50 balls in him. Well, he has a 40-inch vertical. This man is 6'8", 250 pounds, runs a 4.5 40, and has a 40-inch vertical. Now, yes, he is not the best pass catcher. He's not the best route runner, but the potential is there. I like this pickup, and, if this could be the tight end of the future for the New York Jets, just keep your eyes out on him. Big fan of Zack Kuntz coming out of Old Dominion. But they also picked up a wide receiver, Brandon Smith. Again, this is just probably going to be a practice squad guy once August rolls around. No big, news there, but we can continue on. We got 5 more. Kohl Levao was also signed, interior offensive lineman for the Jets on this next list of 5 here. Again, this is just going to be a camp body, a guy who's going to probably be a backup, try to fight to make this 53-man roster. But they actually picked up a quarterback, Adrian Martinez. Shout out to Kansas State, man. This guy's electric to watch. I don't know if he'll ever be a good NFL quarterback, even an NFL backup. But I'll tell you what, for preseason games for the Jets, this guy's a fun player. Keep your eyes out on him once the preseason rolls around. And then we'll get the Jackson Sirmon here. Just a linebacker they brought in, a hard hitter, plays the game the right way. Very, very fast getting to the football. But, he, again, is just going to be a camp body. Same with a guy like Tre Swilling, DB that they picked up. But I will say with some of these DBs, with DJ Reed most likely leaving in free agency, not a bad idea to just bring in more bodies. But we also got another wide receiver here, Easop Winston. I'm not going to lie to you guys, not much to say about him. Even our software here at Chat Sports couldn't find a profile picture for him. So, I'm not really putting too much into this. I just think he's a camp body. We'll try to fight to make the 53-man roster. But that's the news on Matt Nagy, and that's the news on the 10 players that the Jets signed the future deals. But if you guys made it to the end of today's show, just give me a Jets down below in the comment section so I know where all the real ones are at. And if you guys comment Jets, I'll make sure to get down in the comment section and show you guys some extra love down there. But we'll see you guys next time. As always, go Jets.